Success already exists in your future. You just have to bring it into the present. That means right now, the life you're dreaming about isn't something you have to invent. It's something you have to access. God already designed it, finished it, packaged it, and stored it in time with your name on it. The problem is not that your success doesn't exist. The problem is that you keep living as if it doesn't. You think you've got to grind for 10 more years. You think you've got to wait until circumstances line up. You think you've got to be somebody different before you qualify. But listen carefully. You don't qualify for success in the future. You qualify the moment you decide to bring it into the present. Your dream business already exists. Your financial freedom already exists. Your impact, your influence, your legacy, it all exists. You're not chasing after something uncertain. You're reaching into something guaranteed. The future is not an empty promise. It's a finished product waiting for you to pull it into today. And the only way you can hold it is by thinking, speaking, and acting like it already belongs to you. Borrowing from your future means adopting the mindset, habits, and confidence of your future self today. That future version of you who already owns the business, who already walks in abundance, who already commands influence, doesn't wait for permission to act. They move with certainty. They think differently. They carry themselves differently. They make decisions from a place of vision, not from a place of fear. If you want to live that life, you can't wait for it to arrive. You've got to step into it now. You've got to talk like the future you, walk like the future you, and believe like the future you. You've got to practice the discipline, the excellence, and the focus of the person you're becoming until the present can't help but catch up to the future. Because success doesn't show up when you're ready. It shows up when you become the kind of person who can't help but create it. The habits of your future self are the down payment on the life you're asking for, and the moment you start living that way today, your future stops being a dream and starts becoming your reality. God has already completed your destiny. You must step into it by faith and action. Before you ever took your first breath, God wrote the end of your story, and He wrote it in victory. He didn't leave your success half finished. He didn't leave your purpose incomplete. He wrapped it up, sealed it, and then sent you into time to walk it out. That means every struggle you face, every obstacle in your path, every delay you think is holding you back, is not the end of your story. It's just a setup for you to step into what's already done. But here's the challenge. Too many people are waiting on God to do something He's already finished. You don't need Him to create your breakthrough. You need the faith to believe it's already there, and the courage to act like it. Faith without works is dead, and a finished destiny without your participation is just a wasted plan. The moment you decide to align your actions with the victory God already designed for you, your future stops being a prophecy and starts becoming your present. Every time you act like your future self, you collapse the distance between who you are and who you're becoming. Think about that for a second. There's a gap between your present and your promise. But that gap isn't closed by time, it's closed by decisions. When you choose to think like the future version of you, when you choose to move like them, when you choose to make choices aligned with the person you are becoming, you literally shorten the journey. That's why some people spend decades chasing success and others create it in a few short years. The ones who collapse the distance are the ones who refuse to wait until tomorrow to become who they already are in the future. If your future self is bold, be bold today. If your future self is disciplined, be disciplined today. If your future self invests, builds, and multiplies, then do it today. Because the more you behave like the person you're destined to become, the sooner that destiny shows up and introduces itself in your reality. Faith is the currency that pulls tomorrow's abundance into today's reality. Just like money gives you access to things in the marketplace, faith gives you access to things in the kingdom. You don't buy success with fear. You don't purchase your destiny with doubt. You only cash it in with faith. And faith is not just believing something might happen. Faith is knowing it already exists and acting like it's yours before you can see it. That's why most people stay stuck. They wait to see before they believe. But the people who win, the people who rise, the people who prosper are the ones who believe before they ever see. Faith is the receipt that says what you've been waiting for is already paid for, already packaged, already prepared, and just waiting on delivery. And every time you speak in faith, move in faith, and act in faith, you accelerate that delivery until the future God finished for you shows up in your today. People borrow money for things that depreciate. Why not borrow discipline, courage, and focus that create wealth? Think about it. We live in a world where people will sign their name on a dotted line, take on years of debt, and shackle themselves to payments for a car that loses value the moment they drive it. Off the lot, they'll borrow for a house, borrow for furniture, borrow for clothes, borrow for vacations, but they won't borrow from their own future. They won't borrow the discipline to wake up early, the courage to take a risk, the focus to stay on track when distractions come. Isn't that wild? People are comfortable going into debt for things that keep them broke, but they won't borrow the habits that would make them wealthy. See, when you borrow from your future, you're not paying interest. You're collecting dividends. Discipline pays you. Courage pays you. Focus pays you. And every time you borrow those things and use them today, you're making an investment that compounds into the success you've been praying for. Waiting for success is a trap. Success is created by present decisions, not future chances. The greatest lie most people live under is this: one day my life will change, one day my breakthrough will come, one day opportunity will knock. But one day never comes, because one day is an illusion that keeps you stuck where you are. Success does not live in tomorrow, it only lives in today. Every single thing you are experiencing right now is the harvest of decisions you planted in your past. And everything you will experience tomorrow will be the harvest of what you decide and do today. The trap is that people think waiting builds their future, but waiting only steals it. Waiting creates regret, not results. Waiting is comfortable, but it's also costly. Every day you wait to become who God called you to be is a day you'll never get back. A day where you exchange progress for procrastination and destiny for delay. The truth is, there are no future chances, only present choices. What you decide in the moment is what builds momentum. Too many people are living as if success is going to knock on their door like a package delivery. But success doesn't come like Amazon Prime. Success is not showing up with free shipping. Success has to be signed for by your decisions. You don't stumble into wealth. You don't bump into greatness. You don't drift into destiny. You walk into it by choosing differently right now. If you keep living like the person you are today, you'll keep repeating the life you already have. But the moment you live like the person you're supposed to become, you create a new reality. Let me show you how waiting kills more dreams than failure ever will. People don't usually fail because they tried and lost. Most fail because they never tried at all. They tell themselves, "I'll start when it's the right time. I'll take action when I have more money. I'll move when I feel ready." But the right time is a lie. More money is an excuse and readiness is a trap, because readiness only comes after action, not before it. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll wait forever. If you wait until you're sure, you'll miss the moment where faith was required. Success is not about knowing the next 100 steps. It's about taking the one step in front of you with courage and trusting that the next will reveal itself once you move. Every breakthrough you admire in someone else's life didn't come because they waited. It came because they acted. They acted before they had the money, before they had the connections, before they had the confidence. They borrowed from their future self, stepped into the decision, and created a new reality that matched their vision. They refused to stay stuck in the holding pattern of someday. They decided that someday was today. And that's why they're living the life you admire, while others are still making excuses about why it's not their season. Let me ask you this. How many seasons have passed you by while you've been waiting? How many opportunities have you watched slip through your fingers because you thought you weren't ready? How many times have you delayed the business, the idea, the book, the call, the move, because you told yourself you would do it later? Later doesn't exist. Later is the devil's favorite word because later keeps you chained to average. Later steals your energy, later drains your confidence, later destroys your faith. Every time you say, "I'll do it later," you hand over another piece of your destiny to delay. And the problem is, later never pays you. It only robs you. Waiting feels safe, but it's actually the most dangerous place to live. Because while you're waiting, time is moving. While you're waiting, life is happening. While you're waiting, opportunities are passing. And while you're waiting, somebody else who decided not to wait is stepping into the very thing you were praying for. Success doesn't wait around. It looks for the first person bold enough to claim it. You can pray all day, you can dream all night, but if you don't act, you're just waiting in a holding pattern while somebody else collects what could have been yours. See, God never designed you to wait for success. He designed you to create it. Creation doesn't happen in the future. Creation only happens in the present. God didn't wait to create the world someday. He spoke, He moved, He acted, and things became. And because you are made in His image, you carry that same power. You don't create with waiting. You create with words, with work, with willingness. You don't wait for the door to open. You knock, and if it doesn't open, you kick it down. You don't wait for the season to change. You plant the seed and force the harvest to come. Waiting hands control of your life to time, but action puts you in alignment with purpose. Success is not reserved for the smartest, the richest, or the lucky. It belongs to the bold, and boldness never waits. Boldness moves when others hesitate. Boldness decides when others doubt. Boldness acts while others analyze. And boldness wins because it refuses to give fear or procrastination the final word. If you're tired of living the same year over and over again, if you're tired of watching your vision stay locked up in your head, if you're tired of clapping for other people while you stay stuck on the sidelines, then you've got to stop waiting. Success is not about what you hope will happen tomorrow. It's about what you choose to do today. So ask yourself, what decision am I avoiding? What action am I delaying? What habit am I postponing? Because those are the very keys that unlock the future you've been praying for. Every single thing you want is waiting on the other side of a decision you keep putting off. Success doesn't meet you in the future. It meets you in the moment you decide. And the sooner you decide, the sooner your destiny catches up to you. Your future self is not smarter or luckier. just more disciplined and consistent. We like to look at the people who are already living the life we want, and we convince ourselves they must have had something we don't. Maybe they were born with more talent, maybe they had better connections, maybe they just got lucky. But that's the biggest lie you can tell yourself, because it lets you off the hook. The truth is, the person you're going to become isn't going to be built on luck, and they don't suddenly get a brain upgrade 10 years from now. The future version of you has the same mind, the same gifts, the same potential you have today, but they use it differently. They've learned to do consistently what you only do occasionally. They've learned to stay disciplined when you get distracted. They've learned to follow through when you quit halfway. Discipline is the bridge between the you that dreams and the you that lives those dreams. Consistency is the glue that holds the pieces of your vision together until it becomes a reality. Think about it. If you went to the gym once, you wouldn't expect to be fit. If you studied once, you wouldn't expect to be a genius. If you prayed once, you wouldn't expect your faith to be unshakable. But so many people approach their goals with a once-in-a-while mentality, and then wonder why their life doesn't look like the vision they carry. The future you is not more talented. They just refuse to let inconsistency rob them of the results discipline always promises. When you understand that, you stop waiting for lightning to strike and you start building systems. You stop asking for luck and you start demanding consistency from yourself. You stop expecting miracles to fall out of the sky and you start showing up every single day as if you are already living the miracle. Because discipline compounds, every small action, every daily choice, every step you refuse to skip, multiplies over time until it creates an unstoppable force. That's why your future self is powerful. Not because they're different from you, but because they're doing today what you keep telling yourself you'll do tomorrow. Borrowing from your future requires boldness to think bigger, speak bolder, and move faster right now. Most people live small because they think small. And they think small because they've been trained by their past instead of called by their future. They look at their bank account and shrink their dreams. They look at their failures and silence their voice. They look at their circumstances and slow their steps. But the future you doesn't think small, doesn't speak timid, doesn't move slow. The future you has learned that the size of your thinking determines the size of your living. The future you has realized that timid words create timid results, and that delayed action is nothing more than self-sabotage in disguise. If you're going to borrow from your future, you have to break the habit of playing safe. Safety has never built empires. Safety has never created wealth. Safety has never changed lives. It's boldness that shakes the ground, boldness that opens doors, boldness that makes heaven move. When you think bigger, you open your mind to opportunities that small thinkers will never even see. When you speak bolder, you declare to the world and to yourself that you're not negotiating with mediocrity. And when you move faster, you beat hesitation to the finish line, because hesitation is the enemy of destiny. Understand this. The only reason some people seem to get lucky is because they move before others are even willing to start. While average people are still overthinking, bold people are already executing. While others are waiting for permission, bold people are already walking into rooms, making connections and seizing opportunities. While the fearful are trying to get ready, the bold are already getting results. Borrowing from your future means choosing to stop being casual with your calling and start being urgent about your destiny. And when you live with that kind of boldness, Your future doesn't just show up someday, it rushes in to meet you today. The future won't come to rescue you, you must reach into it. Grab the vision and live it in the present. Too many people sit around waiting as if destiny is a delivery service, like success is a package that will show up on their doorstep if they just pray long enough or wait patiently enough. But destiny doesn't deliver, you have to go pick it up. Your future is not a savior, your future is an assignment. And assignments don't chase you. You chase them. That means the vision God gave you is not going to climb out of tomorrow and walk into today. You've got to climb into tomorrow with your faith, with your action, with your decisions, and drag that vision into the now. That's why the people who create generational wealth, who shift nations, who leave legacies, don't sit back hoping things will change. They step forward and make the change. They live with an urgency that says, I refuse to wait for the world to hand me permission. I already have a mandate from heaven. They understand that the life they're called to live isn't waiting at the end of the road. It's hidden in every bold step they take along the road. So every time they believe bigger, every time they move faster, every time they act without hesitation, they're literally pulling their future closer until it collides with their present. You've got to decide whether you'll be the kind of person who watches time go by, or the kind of person who pulls eternity into time and lives the vision now. Because the future isn't waiting to rescue you. It's waiting for you to rise up, claim it, and prove by your actions that you're ready to live the life you've already been shown. When you stop waiting for it and start walking in it, that's when success stops being a dream you hope for and starts being a reality you own. So here's the truth. You don't have to wait 10 years to become who you're called to be. You don't have to keep rehearsing excuses. You don't have to keep living on pause. Your future is already finished. Your destiny is already designed. Your success is already secure. The only question left is whether you'll be bold enough to borrow it, whether you'll be disciplined enough to live it, and whether you'll be faithful enough to act on it right now. Because the power to change your life is not locked in tomorrow. It's sitting in your hands today. And the moment you decide to think bigger, speak bolder, move faster, and step into the person God already made you to be, your future won't just meet you someday. It will invade your present and transform your now.